Hey there, Jim here with Fantasy for the Ages, the father of this father and son show, bringing you content about fantasy, science fiction, and other nerdy stuff we enjoy. Thanks for joining me today. If you like what I'm about to reveal, be sure to like the episode down below, and we'd love if you subscribe to our channel. Today, I've got a quick take episode for you, so in about 5 minutes, I'm going to share some thoughts on the Wheel of Time and how it may just be the most divisive fantasy series of all time. I've read a lot of fantasy series. The whole Shannara series, the whole Rift War saga, Harry Potter, of course, the frickin' Wizard of Oz as a kid, The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne, The Dresden Files, First Law, Joe Abercrombie, A Song of Ice and Fire that still isn't finished, and so many more. And they all of these different series have wonderful fans. They also have people who are like, don't really care for it. But The Wheel of Time, somehow, it seems to have the largest contingent of amazingly passionate and enthusiastic fans. And I'm one of those, for sure, and yet also has the loudest and largest set of detractors. I think if there was an award for the series most argued about, this might get it. Now, again, I am a solid Wheel of Time fan, but I'm not delusional. This is not a perfect series. There are issues with it, plenty of flaws, but this episode is not about that. Instead, I just want to chat about how amazing it is that the people who are so emphatic and loud about loving it are pretty much excited about the exact same things as those who can't stand the series and try to shout it down. I have a theory about that. We'll come to that right at the end of the video. But I just want to hit on 7 points that seem to be the defining factors as to whether you are for or against Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. Number 1, the length of the series. Oh, it's so long. 15 books. Such a commitment. Oh, it's so long. 15 amazing books. I just wish there were more. 2, the length of the individual books. Oh man, I dropped it and broke my toe. Oh man, I just wish they gave us a little bit more. The books end so quickly. Number 3, the complexity of the plot. I, I worked through it and I just don't get it. There's so many things that just don't make sense. Wow, this series, it was great the first time, but when I reread it, it was a whole next level. The foreshadowing's amazing. It's so complex. How did Robert Jordan do that? Number 4, I can't keep track of all these bloomin' characters. How many people really need a name? Really? It's like too much. Can't follow it. There's over 2,000 named characters in this, and every one of them has a backstory. Robert Jordan was a genius. I love how rich the story is. Number 5, the magic system. I don't know what they're doing. They just seem to make up whatever they want all the time, and then somebody else comes along and can do something new. It's strange. The magic system. The one power, the true power, all the different weaves of different elements. It's so complex and really creative and makes a lot of sense if you take the time to get to know it. Number 6, the portrayal of women. Wow. Robert Jordan, man, he's kind of pervy. All the spanking, all the women getting naked when the men don't have to. I mean, what is up with this guy? The women in this series are so empowered. And there's such a true balance between men and women. I mean, balance, that's what the whole Wheel of Time is about. It's amazing how ahead of his time Robert Jordan was. Finally, the way Brandon Sanderson finished the series. Man, Brandon Sanderson, he totally messed things up there. Matt Cawthon becomes a juvenile. He adds in this Androl character. It was just dumb. I wish he could have just written it the way Robert Jordan really intended. Brandon Sanderson, what a fan of the Wheel of Time. We were so lucky to get someone like him to finish it. And with real fantasy writing chops, I mean, he adds some of his own elements in there and it just makes it even richer. You could feel his love for the Wheel of Time. We are so lucky. Team Jordan picked Sanderson to finish this series. You see what I mean? It's crazy. My theory, it's not the Wheel of Time. It's you. Some of us are simply wired to love this series. Its scope, its heart, the story, the characters. Others, not so much. You're wired for other things. And we're not talking about genre or specific style. I mean, I love grimdark fantasy. That's not the Wheel of Time. I love urban fantasy. That is not the Wheel of Time. I love romance. Wait, no, hard stop. Don't love romance in my literature. But, anyways, I love The Wheel of Time. So, whether you like it or not really is gonna forever be quite subjective, and it's just up to personal interpretation. There's nothing wrong with this series. It just comes down to that age old adage you love what you love. And in the case of The Wheel of Time, you either really, really love it or you just cannot stomach it. There seems to be no middle ground. That's all I got for you today. I hope you agree with my points one way or the other. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.